Sorry, get all the laughs. I need to stop.
Esther's like you never left.
I'm so awkward. I really am. Okay. It's been a while. It's been like, what, a year?
Yeah.
It's actually been a year since I've done this, which is crazy.
Wow.
Last time I did this was January, so like... Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Is that the right thing to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther.
My name is Esther.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Sorry. Give me a second. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther and this is Conversations with E. If this is your first time here, welcome to our channel. I hope that you join the family after watching this video. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. It is much appreciated. Let's just get straight into today's video. As you can see, I've got a very special guest to the left of me. Do you want to introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, what do I say? I am MR.SAACHI, and for those who don't know me, I'm the music teacher at Mountmellick Community School in County Laois in Ireland. And I was Esther's music teacher back in the day.
You were actually many teachers. You were my English teacher,
Oh yes,
CSP teacher, SPHE teacher at
yes.
one point, and my music teacher.
yes.
Because I had you for the full 5 years, but
You
from
did.
first to third year, it wasn't for music.
No.
Because
no,
I
that
didn't
happened
choose
later,
music. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but as he just said, this is my music teacher, MR.SAACHI. Probably one of my favorite teachers ever. Like, I could sing his praises for days. Like, he is like my favorite teacher.
And one of my favorite students. Yeah.
What can I say, guys? I try. You, as you just said, you still just teach music, or do you teach any other subjects there?
No, I just teach music. That's
Okay.
all. That's all. I have
Yeah.
a few tutor classes, as we call them, but music is my main thing. I've done a few things in the past, and every now and then something else comes up, but music is my thing. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's very talented. You play the keyboard, piano.
Oh, yeah, but, yeah.
I love calling it the keyboard.
Yeah.
He plays the piano. He sings. Is there anything else? You play guitar?
Play the guitar.
Yeah.
I had to learn to play a few things. I didn't know what a tin whistle was.
Did you know?
No.
Oh,
not,
yeah,
Not
guys.
until I moved to Ireland.
He's Italian, by the way.
Buongiorno.
Spaghetti. Pasta. Yeah, but he's Italian. That's why
Yeah.
he's saying he learned
Yeah.
the tin whistle. So you never heard of the
Yeah.
tin whistle before you came here?
No.
Oh.
I didn't have a clue what the tin whistle was, and yeah,
Can you play it now?
a very little, yeah. Very
Probably
little.
the same level that we all can, like the primary school
No.
teaching of it. But I think I'm just gonna kind of go straight in and kind of. I think we got the backstory. Your music teacher here at MCS, my teacher for 5 years. He's married. He's got children, so he's not single, guys. He's not in the market. Listen, we have to let the people know because the DMs will be popping. I just need to let them know he's a married man. He's got 2 children.
Yes.
He's got
Two boys.
Just,
yeah.
just making sure.
Oh yeah.
Got 2 kids that he knows. I'm joking. That he knows about. I'm joking. We've covered the backstory. Now you know who MR.SAACHI is. Get into the episode now and talk a little bit more about teachers. That's gonna be our topic for the day, guys. So I'll probably have it like here somewhere, like here. I always put it somewhere random, but like right
Somewhere.
there. We'll put it somewhere. And today we're gonna be talking about teachers. It's gonna be sort of like a general conversation, the impact of teachers, get into the mind of the teacher. I'm going to talk to the teacher as a past student. You're going to talk to me as a current teacher. He's still teaching, so. And I also got the help from you guys. A few days ago, I asked on my story some questions regarding like your secondary school experience, your experience with teachers, whether it was positive or negative. And I'll definitely be reading out some of them, get MR.SAACHI's reaction to like some of the experiences you guys had, and also get him to answer some of your questions. So yeah, let's get into it.
I was a student myself at some stage.
Oh yeah, he was.
So-
Yeah,
A lot of teachers maybe forget about that. Yeah.
that's actually true. You forget teachers were students
Yeah.
once. So
Yeah.
my first question to you would be, how long have you been a teacher?
Well, I've been a classroom teacher since 2009.
Oh.
So that's that. But I didn't start teaching a classroom. I started teaching one-to-one classes, and originally that was the plan.
Oh.
Actually, the plan was to be a music teacher and to do singing classes.
Yeah.
But the plan was always to have one person for like half an hour.
Yeah.
And that was the original plan. And all of this classroom teaching happened by accident, almost. Actually,
How did that happen?
it happened because it was never a plan, but it happened because one of my voice students happened to be the son of a principal of a secondary school.
Oh.
And something came up, and I was looking at maybe applying for the teacher training course, and he said to me, but look, in my mother's school, the music teacher is about to go on maternity leave. Why don't you give them your CV?
Yeah.
And I was not qualified at the time
For the classroom teaching.
for the classroom teaching, and but I still thought, well, yeah, I might as well give it a go before I spend a year in college and a lot of money and a lot of time.
Yeah.
And so I gave it a go for 1 month,
Yeah.
and that's how I started.
That's actually that's such an amazing story.
Yeah, this was never meant to happen, and I'm delighted that it happened. But initially,
Aw.
it wasn't meant to happen. Yeah.
Some of the best things are unexpected, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because you're really happy as a teacher. I
Oh,
asked
very,
you this
yeah.
earlier, but like, that was one of my questions to you. Like, are you happy, like, in this profession, like,
Oh,
being
very.
a teacher?
I'm very happy.
You don't
yeah.
regret it at all, like.
No, not at all.
I
I
think
don't
that's-
regret one bit. No.
I think that's important to have teachers who actually like want to be here and who are passionate about their job, because like I can tell from having you as a teacher
I don't think-
that
yeah.
you enjoyed what you did. Like you
Oh,
came,
you still do.
yeah, which is amazing. Because listen, there were some teachers. We're gonna get to y'all, but like there were some teachers who were not so pleasant. So roughly, how many students do you think you've taught in your whole like since you've started teaching? How many students do you roughly think you've taught?
Oh, that's a very quick maths question that I can't do. Well, if I taught for since that time, so maybe 13 years, and maybe every year there could be between, I don't know, well, say an average of 20 new students a year, so about maybe 250.
Oh, that's a good amount.
I think so.
That's
yeah.
a lot of people.
That's
when-
very random.
It's
like
random.
thing, but I think so mostly. Yeah.
As a teacher, what would you say would be the most difficult thing that you've experienced and the most rewarding part of being a teacher? So like the most difficult part about being a teacher and the also most sorry, this one will cut out moments. And the also most I was gonna say it again. The most rewarding part about being a teacher. So
I don't know. I never thought about that. It's very rewarding. There's a lot of things that I feel that's very rewarding, and one thing that I find very rewarding is when I see that my students enjoy doing what they do. Yeah, to see people playing and singing and being happy about it, and then to see them coming back for more. Then
the memories. Wait for
Wait a
it.
second. Yeah,
There we go.
that's gone. Yeah, and so sometimes I feel that God, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something right.
You are.
Maybe, yeah.
I
And
can
to
tell
see-
you that you
yeah.
are doing something
So
right.
that's very rewarding, actually, yeah. To see that people enjoy doing what they do, and then some go on, maybe didn't do music in college, and some people still playing years after they go.
Yeah.
And so I feel that you feel like you've given something to your students.
Yeah.
And they leave your room with something and they feel that it was worth spending 1 hour in my class with me giving out and shouting.
Yeah.
That I find that very rewarding. Yeah.
That's really that's refreshing, because for me personally, I can definitely say that you were one of the people in my journey of like music, because for most of you guys, if you don't know, I sing and I also play the keyboard. And when I came to secondary school, it was like the early stages of like me learning, but I didn't. You know, when you're learning and it's just too much work that you just could throw,
Yeah.
you could just throw it all away because it's like, is this even worth like learning an instrument? Or, and you were like one of the teachers who like nourished that, like, you know, that gift. Like you saw in me what I didn't really see in myself in terms of
Think so,
music
yeah.
wise, and like you kind of pushed me to kind of keep going, and like you can go a little bit more. You've got more in you, and like the more I did push, I was like, oh, I do actually like have it in me. And it's not
You
just
did
me who would
do
say that.
something,
It'd be students like, I know Toby like always say it. Shout out to Toby. Toby
yeah.
always
Toby.
says that like you were one of the ones that like pushed him musically, and you
Oh, I
tapped
did,
into
yeah.
like, you helped us tap
We
into
did,
our
yeah.
potential. Basically, the potential that we had that we couldn't see. You were like a window or something. You were like allowed us to see something that we didn't see, and I think that's so important.
you.
And I'm glad that you find that rewarding because you have that
Oh,
effect.
very, yeah.
You have that effect on people's. And your most difficult part about being a teacher, like a challenge that most of us wouldn't see or wouldn't think of, or like.
There are some times that you really think you're doing something wrong, and sometimes that you think that you might lose a few students along the way, and you go back home and you think, what did I do? What could I have done to avoid losing that student who might have dropped out of music halfway through second year or in fifth year? That's hard, yeah. And so you go home and you go, oh God, I got it wrong. What did I do? What could I have done? But you know, it's okay. You can't get it right all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. You're
You
only
can't get it
human.
right,
Yeah, you're only human.
That's quite hard. And another thing that's quite hard for me is to let go of my students in sixth year.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
hard,
I remember Grace. I always talk
very,
about this
very hard,
moment.
yeah.
I remember MR.SAACHI cried at our graduation. We were all crying anyways, but like when he sang, what was it? Time to say goodbye. That song.
Oh yeah.
That song. He sang it in Italian because you know he could speak Italian, and he then like teared up, and then we all lost it because like we're all emotional people, and I was like, no. But look at me, I'm still here with him today. We
There you
haven't
go.
we
So
haven't
you're not
lost
really
touch of
gone,
each
no.
other. So, but I get what you mean because it's
You
like,
sang "See You Again." That was very hard,
oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
very hard.
and I let you sit because I didn't really have to be there conducting. I had to, so I went to the back of the teachers where we're sitting because I wanted to see you playing,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I lost it. Yeah, I lost it altogether.
Oh,
I do.
sorry, I'm just I could cry right now on
Yeah.
the spot if I could,
And
but
that's very hard because
is.
now I don't know if it's the same for all the other subjects, but when you teach music, you really, really get to spend time with your students.
yeah,
Even one-to-one, because if I have to hear someone singing, you have to take people on their own. So you end up getting really, get really attached to your students.
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can definitely say that. Especially for, I think that's actually very true because music was the one subject that I was like, I don't want to leave. Like every other one, I was going to miss the teachers and stuff. But like music was like, I think because it's so hands-on and it's like, it's not necessarily you're just learning a subject, but it's like, it's bringing something out of you at the same time.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah.
So then, yeah, there is that bond with a lot of students. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not everybody, with a lot of students. So it's hard to say goodbye to your students. Oh, of course it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sweet to hear. They actually miss us, guys. They actually
I
miss
do.
us.
Yeah.
As a teacher, explain to us what a typical day at school, like what your typical day going back from school kind of looks like. Is it hectic? Is it easygoing? Like, explain to us, like, what would it be like?
Well, it depends on the day because there's days where you don't have time to breathe, and then
I'm screaming.
there's times of the year where you feel like you're working 24/7,
Yeah.
and then there's times of the year that's more chilled out.
Okay.
So
What would you say is like the busiest and then the quietest time? Like, if you could
The
pick one time of the year.
the quietest time of the year is I'd say January. It's quiet enough because you don't do much more than just teach your classes in January because there's exams coming soon in the middle of February.
Oh,
So
for the 6th years and 3rd years.
For the
is
6th
it?
years and 3rd year mock exams,
Okay.
yeah. So you can't do many crazy things really. So I always found January quiet enough. People don't play as much. There's less noise coming from here, and so I find it quieter. Yeah.
Okay. How many
Yeah.
coffees would you say you go through in like a day, a typical day at school? Like how many coffees? Because I won't lie, Mr. Saki was actually addicted to coffee. Was he the same for you guys?
Yeah, kind of like,
Mr. Saki was so addicted to coffee. There was always a
yeah.
cup of coffee on your table.
I had to stop buying Nespresso coffee capsules because they were dangerous. So no,
I actually can't. But the way you drink coffee, of course, it'd be dangerous. Like,
oh yeah.
but like an average amount of coffee cups in like a
Maybe
busy day.
4 or 5.
Okay.
Well, no, only in school, because then I drink coffee before coming to school, and then when I go home, yeah.
I can't.
No, I've
So it
improved.
doesn't stop here.
No, I've improved because then since COVID, you can't share cups and that. So I
Oh,
don't
okay.
go back to the staff room. Oh no, remember there used to be like 15.
There was
cups.
no guys. There was
Stacked up
too
on there.
many. There was actually too many. Like I remember one day because we used to come in here after study. It was like an
Oh, yeah.
after school program to do homework, and like I would like it was like me, Aoife, and Rachel, and like there was too many cups, and we're like, let's just bring it down to the staff room and just leave it there because it was just too many cups, and I was like, is he gonna get rid of these or not? Like,
Oh yeah, and then you end up bringing up a coffee and drink half of it. So then the milk stays there for.
and then it like forms like.
Ugh.
I actually can't. I love that he
That's
knows
so
himself
gross.
so well because
Oh yeah.
Nah.
But no, there's very busy times of the year, like if there's a show coming up, yeah. So then you are doing nothing but
just.
rush and rush and
Oh, I
rush.
missed.
and
I
think
missed the
about
like thrill of
show,
like
yeah.
prepared for a show,
Yeah.
and then seeing it come all together. Oh, that used to be the
Yeah.
best thing.
So yeah.
Teachers low key hated you though, cause like every time we're like,
Yes.
yeah, we have to like miss class, cause like Mr. Saki needs us to practice. They're like, again, I'm like, sorry, but when the
Yeah.
athletes do it, it's no problem.
No,
When the athletes do it, it's no problem.
no. It
Listen,
doesn't
guys.
happen very often. It
Yeah.
happens on a. It's not a very regular
Yeah.
timetable that I have.
Yeah, it's like a specific time, and
Yeah.
then that's it. It
Yeah.
doesn't like go on for the whole year. So since you've started teaching, let's just say in Ireland,
Right.
how has teaching changed for you, like with the students? Like what's the number one thing that's changed from the students of like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like when you started teaching, it was a different time, different like
Yeah.
era, and now we're in a completely different time. COVID has also happened. What has changed for you, and also what do you think has changed for the students, like since you started teaching?
I don't want to talk about COVID all the time, but actually
No,
that's
you
one
don't-
thing that
yeah.
changed, that made things change, I think. Yeah. Because I think everybody was a bit more anxious coming to school after, and everybody was a bit more down.
Really?
Yeah, because you can't do this and you can't do that, and you can't sing and you can't play the whistle and you can't play the piano. Oh, you have to sanitize the piano before and after. And so people were down. That
Yeah.
was hard. I hated it. I
Really?
absolutely hated it. Yeah.
How was it like coming back to teaching from like, I know you had like the virtual online, did you?
Oh yeah.
And then coming back to the like, were you happy to come back? Was it like bittersweet? What was it like?
It was very bittersweet. I thought it was great. And it was great because it had to happen, because teaching with, and all you see is your students behind the screen, it's actually wrong.
Yeah.
That was actually wrong. But then coming to school, you felt, Lena, like you were anxious to go into school. So you had that 5 minutes in the car that you go, oh God, is everything going to be okay today?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't necessary. But I felt it a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it wasn't necessary, because then when you get in to school and you start teaching, then everything is fine.
Everything's fine, yeah.
Everything's fine, because they're my students and they know me and I know them, and they know that there's nothing to be afraid
Afraid of, yeah,
when
yeah.
you're in my class. Certainly not. But then you had that little bit of anxiety driving to school, I think, and I'm sure the students felt the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas that was never there before, like, because it
I
was
don't
just.
think so. No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. COVID took a turn and just
did,
like
yeah.
it changed a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm trying to put their well-being first, maybe, because it's all okay to start teaching your class, and today we're going to do Mozart and composition and chords and harmony and that.
Yeah.
But then actually all this thing of the well-being that maybe used to be overlooked
Yeah.
a few years ago.
100%.
And so, and then you know when your students are not feeling 100%. And so you know that if they don't, you can actually take a break from teaching
That's really
and
kind
actually
of
look
you.
after them. Yeah.
That's really kind of you. Very considerate
think
to even
yeah,
think of the students in that light, because most people just see us as just students, just as we see you as just like teachers. If that kind of makes
I know,
sense,
yeah.
we
Oh,
forget
yeah.
that there's a human side to it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And so, and that changed a lot. Yeah. I did a mental health or well-being contract with them in second years.
Oh.
So the deal is that every now and then we actually have to look after one another's well-being. Yeah.
Oh, I really
there's
like that idea.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's really nice.
Because then you go back to teaching the normal stuff, and
Yeah.
we're all a little bit happier. And so it's you're not wasting time. You're actually making better use of your time.
Yeah.
And then you feel, if you like, you feel happier being in the class talking
Yeah, it's
about
like you're
music.
setting the tone, so like
Yeah.
everyone's kind of good with what you're going to be teaching and stuff. That's
So
actually that's a good way to go about your teaching. I like that.
That's one thing that's the one thing that's changed. Possibly that's the most significant change that I can think of. Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. If you were to speak to someone who is wanting to become a teacher or is currently studying to be a teacher, what would be like one piece of advice, two pieces of advice that you would give to that, aspiring teacher?
Well, you need to become teachers for the right reasons, okay? Which is not for the money, because
There
then
isn't
there
any.
you go.
There ain't
No.
none of that, guys.
There ain't
I know. I'm not saying that you go and get paid well, but it's not like we're millionaires,
Yeah.
And not just because you have that summer off, because that's great. Okay,
Yeah.
that's brilliant. Yeah, I'm not complaining. That's brilliant.
That is
but-
actually handy. I
yeah.
never even noticed. Teachers actually get like the whole, maybe not the whole summer, but like you get
Yeah.
a bigger break than most people
we
would
do,
ever
yeah,
get
we
in
do.
a
And I'm
full-time
very
job.
grateful, by the way. And I'm very, very grateful for that. I am, because I spend the summer with my children, and that's beautiful, okay? But actually, teaching is exhausting,
Yeah.
like physically, emotionally, and mentally, it's exhausting. So you become a teacher for the right reasons. I think you should become teachers because you have a passion for what you teach.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you really, really believe in what you teach. And that's my advice. Become teachers. It's great. It's not for everyone. But you have to like and have a real, real passion for what you teach. Yeah.
That's a great piece of advice.
That's my piece of advice.
Because I'm so sorry, you could actually tell some of the teachers who were just not, they didn't care, first of all, about the students. They didn't care about being here. You know what I mean? Like, can you guys say the same thing?
Yeah.
Like it happened too many times. Because I know in one of the questions, someone even said, why work at something you're not passionate about, especially something like teaching, because it has such an impact. Like, you're the educator for a child who is coming to learn. So like, if you're not willing, or if you're not even passionate about it, just like you said, why are you here? It's not like you're working as a waitress in a restaurant. You're actually teaching people's kids. You're educating a human being towards their future, and you're not passionate about that. That's a big role.
And get out of it when you feel like the passion is gone, because that can happen, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
If, the passion mightn't always be there. You
It's
might
life.
change your
Yeah.
mind. That's life. Yeah. And so get out.
Yeah.
If that's all gone.
Wise words from Mr. Saki.
I think so.
I totally agree,
Definitely.
100%. What kind of student were you, sir, in school? Were you shy? Were you loud? Were you the clown? What?
I was a bit of a clown. Yeah, I was a bit of a ninja. Yeah.
What
I wasn't
was
shy. Yeah.
You weren't shy.
No.
Ah.
No.
What was the worst thing or the most annoying thing you did, or the funniest thing maybe to you, but to your teacher might have been annoying?
I don't know.
You do know.
Maybe,
Come on.
maybe I don't want to remember. Yeah.
He remembers. He just doesn't want to say it.
I think, I was very loud, yeah. I talk a lot in the back of the class. Now, I was going on, I was okay, I suppose, academically.
Yeah.
So I was quite lazy sometimes. I thought, I know that's grand, yeah. I don't need to do my homework. I don't
them
need
ones.
to study. I'm honest, And so then I ended up being the one that was talking rubbish in class, and the teacher would go like, shut up.
I'm not even surprised, to be honest. Mr. Saki, you strike me as that kind of student.
Yeah.
You
And
just look
so,
like you
yeah.
couldn't sit still.
I was a little bit lazy as well, yeah. And then you end up being asked a question by your teacher. We used to be asked questions. and then you'd be put on the spot, asked 3 or 4 questions, and then you
Yeah.
get a mark. Which
Oh.
it was very intimidating.
That's scary.
And then you end up not having a clue what you're talking about. And
So
end
you're
up
just-
like,
You're just chatting your whole way through.
yeah, so it was like that, yeah.
Did you have any like favorite teachers? Any
Oh, yeah.
teacher that was like, because like just like I'm here, I'm like he's one of my favorite teachers. Did you happen to have like 1, 2?
Oh yeah, I had in first and second year I had a very good maths teacher.
Okay.
I loved maths.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I did.
That's
yeah,
a weird
I really
one,
liked
isn't it?
maths. Yeah,
Not many
Yeah.
people like maths.
and I got on well, and I had a very good, passionate maths teacher in first and second year.
Do you
It was
remember their name?
Great, yeah. I do.
What's their name?
His name was Mr. Spinardi.
Ah,
very good, yeah.
Exotic.
Yeah. And
Ethnic.
ethnic, exotic.
I'm screaming.
Yeah, and but there was very few practical subjects when I went to school.
That's sad.
Very few, yeah.
That's
so
really sad.
I were bored after a bit, yeah. And so nothing was really relevant to what I wanted to do because there was no music. And so that's why I got bored, and I wasn't a very studious student.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like tech graph a lot. Sort of because I had something to do with my
To
hands.
do, yeah.
instead
Some
of
people
just-
are more awake on. Do you know that thing that they say like your left side of your brain and your right side
Oh
of your
yeah,
brain? I don't
get
really.
it, no.
I've never actually got into the explanation of
Neither
that,
do
but
I,
like
no,
apparently some people are more like books,
yeah.
whereas other people need to have like the hands-on,
Yeah.
like wake up your mind type of situation. Whereas some people are in the middle. Maybe that was you, and you didn't have enough of the.
No, I don't know. No, so I felt
It's like
No,
no,
it
that
was
wasn't
very-
me.
I was very bored.
Not me
of
trying to
subjects.
diagnose him, but he's like, stop. But so what we're gonna do right now, Mr. Saki, is there is a few subscribers who suggested that I ask you as a teacher a few questions, and yeah, just see what way you
Oh,
answer
yeah.
them. Maybe you can
Right.
answer for your fellow colleagues, maybe you can't, but like,
Well, maybe I won't.
yeah,
I'm gonna
because
put
I
it
don't
that
think
way.
you'd be able to answer every question because it
Probably
might
not.
not. It might not, relate to you. But
Mm.
where it does, might as well answer.
I'll try. Okay, fire it on.
So, the first question would be, what have you learned from the students as a teacher?
To stay positive, maybe.
Stay positive.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's a nice one.
I think so. Yeah, because
The students teach you to stay positive.
absolutely, yeah, more than some teachers maybe.
Ah, I
So you know the way you're so young now, and you have all this enthusiasm about what you do, and
yeah.
and you can, like, students are so young, you can dream big. They can actually tell you what they want to do in their wildest dreams, and that's fine.
Yeah. Whereas adults are more like, they've seen
Yeah.
too much and they're like, no.
No, and then
I didn't
Yeah.
think that'd be the lesson you'd learn from students.
oh,
That's
I do,
interesting
yeah.
because I thought I was walking, not me, maybe you didn't learn that from me because I was walking around here depressed half the time. I was like, get me out of this place.
I
I
know,
was
but
not positive.
like if you're
On some days, when I wasn't in class, I was positive. But when I was in class, I was like, get me out of here.
I know, but no, look, if you talk to a 40-something like me, and I'm married with kids, then all you're going to get is, oh, but you have to pay the mortgage and you have to get a
Yeah,
sensible
yeah.
job. Whereas if you talk to a 14-year-old, they'll just tell you that they want to become an astronaut, and that's fine, and
That's
that's mad,
true.
but that's absolutely
They dream
fine.
big, I
Yeah,
suppose.
and that's great.
That's
great.
nice.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to learn from students, I
Yeah,
suppose.
that's, yeah.
Another one. Have you ever confronted another teacher on their behavior? Like if they mistreated a student, a colleague? That's actually a really spicy one. I can't lie. Have you? First of all, have you ever seen like teachers like mistreating a student or a colleague? We're not naming names. You
No.
won't get in trouble for this, sir.
I don't know about mistreating, but maybe being a bit too, maybe giving out too aggressively. Maybe yes.
Okay. Have you
Yeah.
called them out for it? Or
No,
did you just
maybe I
watch?
shouldn't. Maybe I should have. I
Mm.
would say, yeah.
Do you
maybe
feel
I
like it's
should've.
not your place sometimes? Or
sometimes I felt like maybe you had to keep the politics flowing. Maybe that shouldn't have been the case. I think actually, yeah.
That's
Whose
sad.
place is it though?
Yeah.
Because
Good
teachers.
question.
What'd you say?
It's a good question, Grace. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Elaborate.
Because
Yeah.
like, teachers don't know everything. Like some things, like you said, students teach to stay positive. Students can teach, like teachers some stuff. They don't know everything. So if they're actually being unreasonable about something, they can't just be like, oh, because I'm a teacher, nobody's gonna teach me. No, you're still a person, and you still need to know that what you did isn't fair, isn't right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds very personal, Grace. Do you have a...
Yeah, it is
And
personal.
I was
But
like-
we're not allowed to name names, so I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that today. But yeah,
Yeah.
moving on swiftly, guys.
What accomplishment fills you with pride so far as a teacher?
Well, I suppose. Well, maybe this is too obvious, but when I see that I have students in my class for 5-6 years,
Yeah.
and then they still don't have enough of music, they want more, and you see that they go to college and they study music in college, and some of them are studying to become music teachers, and then I go, yeah, he was my student.
That's a good accomplishment.
Yeah.
That definitely makes you proud of them.
Oh
Aw.
yeah.
Look at his face lit up when he was talking about it. That was so cute. He was so happy.
Yeah.
Somebody said, why do you work at your job if you're not passionate? We already kind of discussed that. You shouldn't go into it.
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
why you would if you're not passionate about it.
Yeah. And if you're not passionate, then leave. It's
Yeah.
not the place for you.
And it's fine. There's no shame.
Yeah.
You know, people change job all the time.
Yeah.
So
Someone just said, is everything okay at home? I think that's for the teachers who come in like bad moods and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, is everything okay at home?
well, nothing is always perfect at home.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in the real world. And yeah, you might.
I
come-
suppose
yeah.
sometimes we do need to consider like they do have families, they are parents, their siblings, their husbands, their wives, and they might just have a bad day.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you're having a bad day, you come in and you're like, nobody talks to me, but they have no choice. They have to teach you. So maybe their mood might be a little off,
Oh God, yeah.
but maybe not all the time. Like if you're like, you know, if you're rude all the time, then it's like, okay, calm down.
Then
I
maybe that's
know,
just
but yeah.
you.
Oh, but there's days that you have a bad day at home.
Or like
and
what
you bring it
Mr.
over.
When Mr. Saki had bad days, we all knew. We were like, everybody show up. Because it was like, we're usually like a loud class. We're like very vocal. And like there'd be days he
Yeah.
comes in and you can just tell from like the tone of his like, take out your books. And you're
Yeah.
like, ah.
But sometimes Mr. Saki would actually let like the student know. That's what I appreciate. Like he'd come in and be like when you know when your son was like, I think he was like around that 2 age, when he'd come in and be like, oh, like my son kind of stressed me out, kind of thing. Everyone kind of knew to
Yeah.
be chill for that class.
Yeah.
So some teachers like Mr. Saki were vocal about it, and then everyone kind
See,
of
Mr.
knew.
Every teacher should be like Mr. Saki. This is
Yeah.
what we're talking
Oh, well,
about.
I don't know.
Yeah, everyone be like him. I don't.
So now we're going to move on to talking about some people's experience and kind of getting your reaction,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Oh, so these are people who sent you
Their
their experiences.
their experience, either
Oh.
positive or negative.
Students. I suppose,
Yeah, students, and they're kind of sharing why. Because first of all, we asked you guys if you enjoyed secondary school or not. 33% of you guys said yeah, it was the best.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, 29% said they hated it, and
Wow.
38% said it was all right, I guess. So, how do you feel about that?
I don't know if I feel.
Did
Feel
you
good
like
about that.
secondary school? Did you love
Well-
it? Was it all right?
It was all right, yeah. Well, I didn't mind going to school.
Okay.
Like, I didn't find it like it was a big burden or a chore.
Like you didn't dread it, like
No. Even though I didn't excel exactly academically.
Yeah.
I could have done better, but it was never a chore.
How did you guys find secondary school? Did you like it?
I said it was alright. I feel like after a while, like Mr. Saki keeps on saying, it got just boring and long.
Yeah.
After
What about
a
you,
while.
Richard?
I found it not too bad. Like from first to third year, I found it like proper good.
Yeah.
Once I got to fifth year and sixth year, you're starting to see that these are stuff you're going to be using for your leaving cert. So I was like, okay. And then the work piles started getting a little bit higher. And then I was starting to realize it. But I enjoyed it at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I had my friends around me, like grades.
Aww.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so nice.
Love you, Richard.
That was the most unloving answer ever. You're
That's
like
all you're gonna get.
the most monotone I love you ever. I love you, Richard. I thought secondary school was alright. I liked it, and I would say I loved it, but a few moments that made you kind of look back and be like,
But maybe the most worrying thing is that there's almost as many people who said love as there is hate.
Yeah,
There's
It's
a
just
lot
kinda
of
like-
people who hated it.
yeah. That's the reality, though, I guess.
Yeah.
And these are a few of the experiences. So somebody said secondary school helped me. Well, not secondary school, teachers specifically. Sorry. Teachers helped me tap into my potential. That's a nice thing to say.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Very.
Agree with that, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I have it in my head that I like to try and do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not something that you succeed to do all the time.
Someone said, my teachers didn't have faith in me, so I had to put my faith in God. That's a bit sad.
That's a shame.
Like,
Yeah.
in a way, it's good that they had their faith to rely on, but the people who were put, like, in front of them, you know,
Yeah.
like the physical aspect of it, couldn't believe in the student.
It makes it horrible.
I
suppose
remember how great I would feel if a teacher could tell me, Esther, you could do it. Like, do you remember hearing that? Like, chemistry was a subject I wasn't great at, but Miss Hennessy was like, sorry to name drop, but this is in a positive light, so I don't think that it would be a bad thing. She was like, always like, Esther, you can do it. And it kind of makes you be like, maybe I can. Do you know when a teacher actually believes in you?
Yeah.
It goes a long way. That's sad. That actually made me really sad.
Yeah.
All your teachers, they should be there. Tell me their names, I'll fight them. Somebody said, oh, this is Grace. I'm not even gonna say somebody. My music teacher had a lot of patience with me, helping me with my singing and helped my gift come alive. The teacher constantly pushed me to reach my full potential and believe in myself.
Oh, Grace, that's beautiful.
Oh, he's gonna shed a tear now. I was like, I'm gonna say your name because I might as well.
Thank you, Grace.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Makes me very happy.
Somebody else said, yeah, they taught me many life skills that played a huge part in my personal growth and more. That's nice.
And that's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just about learning a load of notions that you're going to forget anyway.
Yeah. Because the
So,
impact is, I always say the impact is beyond the classroom.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like when you
must
go
be.
home. And it's very true.
Yeah,
Like it is
must
very
be, yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Have a lasting effect on these students, guys.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah, to do your exams, and I said it before, to do your exams, and well, everybody's going to go through their exams, and that's fine. But there should be something else. I think
That's
Yeah.
true.
there should be something else.
But not all teachers are willing to go that far with
sure.
some students. They don't have that willingness. No one says you have to be like a mom or dad, because that's not what you're there for. But just understand your role as a teacher. And because you spend this much time with the student, like, they might see you more than they see their parents.
Oh yes.
So, like, you have, what you do say and how you treat them and the words that you speak over them has a lasting effect.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you're intentional, I suppose, and conscious about what you're saying, it's probably better than just kind of saying anything and just,
Oh yeah, it's printed on any teaching book,
Okay.
and to say that students won't remember what you taught them, which is true, but they'll remember how you treated them.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah, that's very true.
Somebody said some teachers have favoritism and that affects how students could learn in the classroom.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's not right, but yes, that's true.
There was a lot of favoritism in my class with the athletes. I have a problem with the GAA guys and the GAA girls. Because listen, all the teachers loved y'all and they didn't like the rest of us. Can somebody agree with me here? So I'm not like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to feel alone. Mr. Saki might not understand that one, but like the people who played sports, they were like,
I'm not a sports person.
he's a you
No.
see, if you played music, you were his favorite,
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
nah, they were like most of the teachers' favorites. Like, they didn't have their homework done. It's like, come on, make sure you have it done the next day. If I like missed the question, why didn't you do that? I'm like, he didn't have his homework done for a week. Here we
Oh,
go
wait.
again. Something else. A teacher once predicted our futures and said half the class would never amount to anything.
Oh God,
That's not good. Mr.
that
Saki's
is
like,
disturbing.
that's not right
That
at
is
all.
Wrong. Yeah,
That's wrong on
disturbing.
every level.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
No.
Mm-mm.
What does it mean that they get up to nothing?
How does
Seriously.
that was like one teacher. I know if I say this and people watch it, they're gonna remember. I won't say he or she, but they always used to say that we'd be on the dole in a few years. I know who that is already. Yeah. And it was like funny in the moment, but I'm like, that's actually not nice. Like when I look back, I'm like, what if, like, I laughed at it and I dismiss it. But what about the student that actually was like, crap, maybe that will be me? Like,
But what about the fact that maybe they don't tell you, but there was a time in my career in Ireland that I lost my job because of, and I'm a teacher, I was a teacher, but it was a time in my career in Ireland that I lost my job because of the recession and I was on the dole myself. So I'm sorry now, but you know that can happen.
yeah.
And that was out of my control.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, it's a bit unfair to say. And the last one is probably gonna hit home for, like, you know, we're all black here, apart from Mr. Saki, because Grace and Richard are in the back. But they just said the amount of racism experienced in the classroom, and it kind of goes unsaid because no one is gonna ever kind of address it, which is kind of disappointing.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I, for one, can, like, because I know you can't really, Mr. Saki's never been racist, so it's not even like I can come here and be like, you've been a racist teacher. I don't think he's ever seen another teacher be racist, because most of the time it happened in the classroom with, like, your classmates. No one else would ever say anything. Like, example for me, it was like the passive aggressiveness of, like, you know, us black girls, we change our hair most of the time. Like, we've been doing it since we could basically breathe. And one day I came into a classroom, everybody was walking in as you do, taking their seats. I was stopped by my teacher, and we all know she's a she. And she said to me, she was like, do you not love yourself enough to keep your real hair? The other girls in the class don't change their hair. Why do you always change it? And I was like, that's not a really nice thing to say to somebody. Do you not love yourself enough to, like, have your real hair out?
A bit
and
too harsh.
It wasn't the only instance that teacher had said stuff like that. It was a passive aggressiveness, not just to me, but like in my year there was literally 2 black people, and then a third one came in second year, but it was literally 3 black people, and it was like the constant back and forth. But it was like said in a way that was like, you could never really be like they were racist. There was like the undertone of, like,
okay,
you know what I mean? And no one else in the class would say anything. So I was like, maybe it's just me in my own head. But looking back on it now, that, like, had such an effect on my self-esteem and, like, how I viewed myself, like, in a room.
I'm sorry to hear
with
that.
people. It's okay. Like, it was just like how I viewed myself, like, amongst, like, my classmates and stuff. I was really conscious of, like, when I walked in, that, yeah, this is this, that's that. If I change my hair, I was like, oh, they're going to think I don't love myself. That kind of stuff. It was just kind of like, you've spoken that now. I've taken that on, and, like, it's stuck. And it took me a while to unlearn it. But, like, I'm grand now, guys. Don't worry. Okay. But it was just sad to look back on that and see that, like, a teacher could say something like that. And you have power. Like, your words actually have power over a student, because we see you as, like, our leaders. And then when you say something like that, you're placing something in, you know, a child, because I was a child at the time. You're placing that in the mind. And I could just imagine how much more stuff has gone on, like, behind this, like, you know, in the classrooms that are unsaid and never spoken about. Oh, yeah. It's disappointing, you know what I mean? Yeah. It is disappointing. But Mr. Saki doesn't have to worry about that. He ain't no racist, guys. Don't worry about that. So we're finished that part of the show, and we're gonna go on to the last part of the show, and we're gonna see how smart Mr. Saki is. If all his secondary school, university, all of his education has paid off, and if he's still, you know, academically intelligent, if that even makes sense.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I had a bell. The bell, guys. It made a comeback. But there's only one participant, so is there a point?
So I'm going to win anyway.
It's like there was meant to be 2 teachers fighting for the bell, but it's just Mr. Saki, so... yeah.
I could probably get all the answers wrong, so I'd be losing.
No, maybe you won't. Myself. Or should we play against each other? and see if Mr. Saki's smarter than me, if I'm smarter than him.
Yeah,
But you're.
You
Yeah.
guys, no, you guys are asking us the questions. We're not.
Oh,
Okay.
but Esther's brain is half my age, so that's the.
That
bit of
doesn't
an
mean I'm
advantage.
smarter, sir. My brain has been dormant in a few areas now for a really long. We're gonna see who's smarter, me or Mr. Saki. Now listen, guys. I know I'm in college, but I'm studying a specific, I'm in a specific course, and I haven't tapped into like all these other subjects in a very long time. Mr. Saki also is solely teaching music, so he hasn't tapped into these subjects for a very long time either.
Yes.
And yeah, we're just gonna see who's smarter. Personally, I don't think I'm gonna be winning today because I'm not.
I don't really think I'm gonna win either.
So none of us are confident. That's what we've got from this. But yeah, Grace and Richard are gonna be asking us the questions, and winner gets to say that they won.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
yeah.
that's all you need.
Yeah.
Loser take the L and winner take the W. That's all we need to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm giving you guys
get my
5.
hands.
You guys can see my hands, so I'm going to do 5-second counting. You have 5 seconds to think of the answer.
Is it not 10?
It's 5.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, to think.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She said that with assured. She said it's
You
5.
can say it in the audio.
Ready?
Yeah, louder.
Yes.
Question number 1.
Okay.
What artist has the most streams on Spotify?
That was a really hesitant bell. Can you guys give hints? Is it an American artist?
American.
Yeah.
R&B?
No.
Rap?
Yes.
Drake?
Correct.
Yeah,
Hey!
right.
I
This
wasn't
is-
even going to try answer that.
This is your forte, sir. This is music. You should be all around,
I wasn't even going to try and answer that.
Okay. The next,
1-1-0.
Yeah, 1-0.
the next one. How many minutes are in a full week? 5, 4, 3,
I'm going to go ahead and forfeit that one. You can
2,
take that one, sir.
1. Okay, minutes are up. Whoever wants to guess, can guess.
Okay.
Seconds are up.
Is it in the thousands?
Yeah.
10?
49,000.
No.
Is it lower?
490,000. Oh, did they say lower or higher?
Yeah, lower.
He said 49K.
Oh, okay.
That's not
Okay.
that big.
Is it 4,000?
No.
No, no.
No. Is it 10,000?
Guys, here we got a 4th-year college student, university student, and
He's a teacher.
That's been
He's-
teaching since 2009.
It's
They
my
don't
job
know-
to
they
learn.
don't
It's
know
his
this
job
answer.
to teach. He should
Music,
have.
not maths.
What's the answer?
10,080 minutes.
How is anyone supposed to know that?
You
I
said
don't know.
10,000 still. You were close.
This
You were
is-
close.
Well, that was random.
That was
Come on.
very random. I was
Really?
just trying to.
Okay.
I was trying to round down.
The next question is an easy one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, then that's the questions that.
Fair
okay,
game.
Yeah, I don't know them.
Question number 3.
Okay.
What country has won the most World Cups?
World Cups of what?
Ooh, that's.
So everyone-
He's like be
Brazil.
specific.
Correct.
Hey, guys, it's 1-1.
I'm back in the game.
Right. The next one. Question number 4.
Oh.
What planet is the hottest?
Mercury.
No. No.
What planet is the hottest?
Yeah.
I don't even think Mars.
What'd you say?
Mars.
Nope.
No.
One more. One stick.
Then it's Venus.
Yeah.
Okay. The last question.
Guys, be nice to me. Come on, let me win.
Last question of today is: how many feet are in a mile?
I don't know.
There's no feet in a mile.
That's not the answer. Unfortunately, that's not the answer.
No, say nothing. No, we're going to take our time because it's last.
Okay.
I don't even. I forfeit. I don't know.
4,800. I don't know.
I think you were almost
The
there.
correct answer is 5,200.
Oh, you were close though.
You weren't that far off. You weren't far
Listen,
off.
Mr. Saki wins anyways. It was 2-1.
Yeah. So now we
So
know
he
who's
is smarter than
A round
me.
of applause for Mr. Saki.
Woo!
I'm not supposed to applaud myself, actually.
Yeah, you are, of course.
We are.
So that brings us to the end of our episode. Once again, I want to say thank you to Mr. Saki for
Thank
coming
you for
on,
having me, Esther.
being such an amazing guest, coming
Thank
on, letting us into your mind, sharing your knowledge with us, sharing your advice, being honest with us, being transparent with us, and thank you for being an amazing teacher. That's something I really wanted to say from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you very much. Esther.
You're a teacher who's like marked my life forever.
Thank you.
Like you're the teacher. Like when I get married, I'm gonna call you up. You're gonna get an invite. When I have the babies, I'm gonna be like, "Sir, look at my baby," because that's how much you've like marked my life. So
thank you
I
very
just want
much.
to thank you for being so passionate in your role of being a teacher and doing it right. You did it right with us, anyways. I can tell you
Thank
that.
you.
And yeah, it's an honor and it's a privilege to have you here on my show. After so many years, I still have such an amazing relationship with this teacher,
Yeah.
and I still can't call him by his first name because it just doesn't feel right to me. And yeah, that was our episode, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to share. Share it with a friend, share with a teacher that you may know. Maybe this video could be helpful for them. Just share it around on your story. If you're watching the video, share a snippet, let people know that you're watching our channel, and hopefully we can gain more subscribers, gain more people to the family. And don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and if you haven't subscribed already, do not forget to click that subscribe button to be a part of the channel, and you will never miss another video. You know how we do, guys. Do you know my catchphrase, sir?
No, what's your catchphrase?
It's okay. He's actually innocent in all this, so it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Most people I have on, I think there's been like, one person that's known my catchphrase,
Yeah,
and I've
one.
had a few guests on now. But basically, at the end of the episode, I always say, you know how we do, and then we both say together, we just here to have a conversation with you. So it's not like proper English, but it's like,
It
it's
is.
not we're
I think-
just here. It's like we just here to have a conversation with you. Okay.
Mm.
So guys, we're gonna wrap this up now. You know how we do. We
We
just
just
here
here
to
to
have a conversation with
you.
you. Yay! Bye guys, until next time.
Bye-bye.